So what'd you like about Rock Valley?
That my children were brought up there. They had good schools, and you could trust them to go out on their bicycles and ride around without being kidnapped or something.
Yep, I remember we'd ride to the pool and live there every day all summer practically.
And they had good. I always enjoyed their music programs they were involved in and their plays. And I remember Michael was, what was he?
He was Tevye in Fiddler on the Roof.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody said that was better than the one they put on at the college.
Hey.
One they had at high school.
Yeah, Mike was
And I
good.
remember Hilda being in play. She was a little Pocahontas or somebody.
I was Becky Thatcher in Tom Sawyer.
Yeah, and Mike was Tom Sawyer.
Uh-huh. And Bill was the music man, wasn't he?
Yep.
How about
And
Dee Dee?
Dee Dee sang, and Kurt played a guitar, and they did a duet together, I remember.
Mm.
We always enjoyed the sports and plays, and that was good. Then the kids graduated, moved on. Mike went to, Dee Dee met Dennis and married him and moved to Texas. And my parents already lived down here, Ruthie. So we sort of migrated from Iowa to Texas.
Mm-hmm. You've been there ever since now.
Yeah. How many years have we been in Texas, or?
Since '87, so that would be
It's almost 20 years.
25.
Oh yeah, that's more than 20 years. That's 25 years. That's
Well, we moved down here the year after my mother died, and she died, I think it was in '84. And we moved down here the next year, in '85.
yeah.
Actually, then,
But then all your kids followed you down there.
well,
Or they were down there
Dee Dee
first.
and Mike were already down there.
Oh, okay.
And my parents had retired and moved back to Farmersville, and that's where they died. And they're buried in Merritt, Texas.
Do you remember where your parents were born? Where was Mama born?
Farmersville. They were both born in Farmersville.
Both born in Farmersville.
But my grandmother's side of the family came from Wales.
That was your dad's mom?
Yeah, Reese.
Reese? They came from Wales?
Mm-hmm.
How about
Roger told me that's where they sent all the criminals from Europe.
to Wales, huh?
So
How about Mama's side of the family? Where was her?
her mother and sister came with their parents from Ireland.
Okay. And what was your grandmother's name? Out your mom's mom.
May B. That's Maebea Carter, and her married name was Cummings.
Okay, and your grandpa was then?
But
Her husband was?
Jimmy Cummings.
Jimmy Cummins. And Papa's mother's name was?
Alice Reese.
And his dad was?
Luke McCrary.
Okay.
Luke McCrary and his wife Alice, and my parents and his brothers and his sisters are all buried in the, well, not my mother's family, they're buried in another cemetery, but my mother's buried in that cemetery where the McCrarys are buried.
And that's where?
And there's another cemetery close to Princeton where the Cummings are buried.
And which cemetery are Mama and Papa at?
Merritt, Texas.
Merritt, okay.
And Jimmy Cummins is buried in the city cemetery in Farmersville.
Okay.
But the rest of them are all buried in country cemeteries. My grandmother, Carter, and Mike remembers our grave because he took me through there on our way to Colorado. We went through there, and where my Aunt Pearl, my mother's sister, is buried, and her mother, May B. Carter Cummins, is buried in Clovis, New Mexico. I was born in 1932. She died in 1936.
Okay.
And I remember her so well. She had real long auburn, reddish auburn hair. She'd sit in the chair and it touched the floor.
Mm.
And I was less than 4 because she died when I was 4, but I got to sit behind her and brush her hair.
Mm.
And when she died, I remember reaching in there to get my hand in there. I wanted to hold her hand. My Aunt Tenny came and gave me a spanking.
Oops.
Oops. But I remember her so well when I was only 4 when she died. And she died of a heart attack. She had a stroke and a heart attack and died.
So was it Mama's family who had some Irish background and Papa's was Welsh?
Scotch, Irish, Welsh.
Okay.